There's nothing to do now but wait for nature to perform its miracle of fermentation in its own good time. 2 hours it takes to rise up and fill the pan. It doesn't do to speed the pace of nature. It must be allowed the slow, natural process, which is the very heart of a loaf of bread. All you can do is to utilize the strength of steel for kneading the rising dough, reactivating it so that the yeast can make the bread even livelier until it is ready to be scaled. Nature will need another 2 hours to work on the dough before it's ready to go down the elbow chute to the bakery below. And here's one of the earlier mixes that is ready. The dough divider cuts it up into small pieces which go by conveyor to be molded by what they call the umbrella. Now, the dough's got to recover and form its shape. This is the beginning of the proving process. It'll do 5 circuits in the muslin pockets of this first prover, slowly sorting itself out. A gentle shaping roller gets it ready for its tin. This bread they're baking is twist loaf. It's an art our bakers have developed of turning those long, stretchy yeast bubbles so that they lie across the loaf where their shadows don't hide the whiteness of the bread. And now, nature takes over again. The pans go into the second prover for yet another period of settling down and forming a shape. It's the age-old process that Grandmama learned from her grandma to give us our daily bread, the staff of life. Only now, we've made our bread better and even more hygienic. Small loaves take 30 minutes to bake, and large loaves take 7 minutes longer. Then, just look at it. Wonderful bread. They've even got a machine to take the bread out of its pans. Now, Mother Nature again, and a 3-hour cooling cycle. What bread do you like best? You can take your choice with Sunblest. For me, cottage loaves with their crusty bases are the best. See how they're shaped? Grandma would never believe it possible. That looks like Vienna bread. Just watch them roll out French bread. French sticks, they're known as. All sorts of things. Knot rolls, bloomers, all carefully scored. Here they come. Baps. They're shaping baps now. Imagine it. A great travelling oven full of lovely baps. Slicing, wrapping, all done by modern machinery. And every single loaf from this and every other sun-blessed bakery is sold within hours of leaving the oven. This is the traditional Scottish batch loaf. Most Scottish people prefer this type of bread with its crisp crust and nutty flavour. It's a fine example of a good sun-blessed loaf. The loaves go into the oven 27 in a row, spaced so that when they rise they lightly touch each other, which stops the side crust forming. Wooden battens which space out the rows are whisked away so that the ends of the loaves also touch. This process makes splendid tall loaves, snowy white all round, with crust only at bottom and top. Generations of Scots have enjoyed this kind of bread, produced nowadays with modern methods and under the best conditions. Truly, bread at its best. Here in the dispatch department, the personal orders for individual shops and roundsmen are loaded on separate trolleys. This is a shop delivery van, and this is the department where they really get a move on. You can't speed up Mother Nature's fermentation processes, but you can get a move on with deliveries. And you'd think these chaps were selling evening papers the way they're hurrying things along. Fresh, lovely bread by the van load. It needs a big fleet of vans and impeccable organization to get that new baked bread to your table while it is still fragrantly fresh. It's a challenge that Sunblest took and triumphantly solved. The squeeze test to see it's light and springy. Like as not, you'll find a big range of Sunblest bread varieties in the supermarket, as well as in the baker shops. Your corner shop is usually up to date as far as stocks are concerned. You can reckon on getting Sunblest bread from the best of them. A lot of the Sunblest vans are mobile bakers' shops providing a doorstep service on the big housing estates. They're well stocked, these vans, with a whole variety of different loaves because every housewife has her own favorite kind of bread. Look at them, bouncing with health and energy. The health and energy you get from bread. So many of us take bread for granted, forgetting what a valuable food it is, with its rich supply of calcium and other minerals, with its vitamins, and its high protein content. It's not called the staff of life without good reason. The squeeze test from the youngest lady. Do you cook with bread? I know my wife does. Amazing the variety of things you can make with it. Bread pudding's just the beginning. Omelettes with bacon and fried bread croutons. My wife makes this one, summer pudding with raspberries. And of course, croutons in soup. Brown Betty pudding. So you can go on. That's a new one on me, a bread and cheese dish. Well, you can make them up as you go on. And who'd ever eat a hamburger, a good, hot, sizzling hamburger with its rich aroma without putting it in a roll of bread? Oh, they're endless, the different ways there are of enjoying bread. Especially Sunblest. Crisp and crusty, light and springy, brown with the vitamins and the wheat germ, or white and wonderful. But you'd better come back to our harvest festival. The service is over, and they've just been auctioning all the harvest produce for church funds, as they always do. Now we're all rediscovering some of the good things to eat that you make with bread.
Yes, I will.
Oh, yeah. How about some tomatoes with your bread and cheese, eh? Well, they should be good. They cost 10 bob apiece.
Cheese and brown bread. That's splendid.
Right, and you?
Fine.
Right then, 3, please, Mr. Brothwell. Oh, and cheddar, if you will.
Right.
And a crusty roll for me too, please.
Fine. And try some of the wife's appetizers while you wait.
Oh, hi. Congratulations. Dig in, Jeb.
Thank you.
Come on. You earned it.
Thanks.
All the real goodness of the quiet countryside on a plate. And the bread we both helped to make is the centerpiece. This is the occasion I get quite lyrical about the one foodstuff which, in one or other of its many fascinating forms and shapes, we could never do without.
Here, here.